them out.
Yes, Shastri has every right to feel aggrieved at missing out with those two possible dismissals from the one ball. That's a good effort, 169 for 3 in response to that big target. Sunil Gavaskar, 80 not out. A word, he played well out there today. Some glorious timing and placement. The timing in particular had the ball racing over this fast outfield. Very sad to know from his own lips this evening that this is to be his last 5-day match. He's going to play some one-day cricket in future, but he will not play any more 5-day cricket. There he is, unbeaten at the close of play with Geoffrey Dujon. And the bowling figures dominated by Malcolm Marshall there. 11 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 14. I bet he begrudged every one of those 14 runs. He's a magnificent bowler. And he got stuck in out there right from the word go. So too did Richard Hadley, who deserved much better than none for 44 in 12. And Shastri showed nice flight and got a little bit of turn from this Lord's pitch on the second day, 19 overs. So at the start of the third day, rest of the world 286 behind, having 169 for 3 against 455 for 5 from the MCC side, led by Mike Gatting. The first 2 days have been magnificent weather, lovely hot sunshine, not a threat of rain, but overnight rain and storms around the ground meant a delay of half an hour today. The umpires and the ground staff and the officials here did a great job. The ground staff had been working since around 5 a.m. to try to make certain that the game could start at 11 o'clock. In the end, it didn't get away until 11:30, but they did a marvellous job. 8 overs were lost, and they had in their super soppers, their whales, and everything they could lay their hands on to try to make certain this capacity crowd was not deprived of any cricket, and that should be a model for all future years and for all other grounds for that matter. A great effort. So at 11:30 the umpires walked out, Malcolm Marshall walked back to his mark, and Sunil Gavaskar 20 away from that century. The first problem though was with Geoffrey Dujon. He had to face Malcolm Marshall. Gar.
Well, who'd have won this race if the ball had hit? Gower onto it. No argument. Good yard out had he hit.
Now time for Gavaskar to face Marshall, coming around the wicket. Yesterday, that ball would have raced away to the boundary. The overnight rain has slowed up the outfield, as one might expect. The combination there was Gower to Gatting. Nicely caught. Dujon goes. That small contest has disappeared immediately. Marshall won it hands down. Dujon could have been run out from the first ball he faced. Now he is out.
You see Marshall just pushing it across Dujon. Extravagant looking offside shot. A good sharp catch taken by Gooch. That's Marshall now. He had 4 of his West Indian Test colleagues in the opposition, and he's got rid of half of them.
Not far short of him. Fielded. Ravi Shastri. There's one. Marshall's the fielder. And quite right to go back. Tony Lewis was saying earlier that he's missed out in the 90s on a number of occasions. That would have been another.
He'd taken Marshall on before from the other end, but this time he knew he meant business.
He's been made to work very hard for this. Gatting has come into short extra cover. There's a short third man at the moment.
I don't think Shastri will mind stringing this little single out.
Wonderful effort, delight to see, and what a great reception from the crowd. And Imran is going to get into it now as well. Oh, that's good. That was a super shot. And is at the bottom of the batting list there. He has a back strain and will not bat unless he is needed.
Well, John Embry then to Imran Khan. Well, that's a beautiful strike there, down the wicket, waited for the ball and then straight through the line. And 6 runs. Imran, a very strong man when he decides to hit the ball. No real effort put into that, just perfect timing. And again, a nicely timed shot there by Gavaskar off his toes, and a combination of 3 fielders just managing to stop the ball. Oh, and unfortunately, the throw was knocked the stump out of the ground and overthrows.
Yes, after the kick by Broad, it was Marshall who threw. He's got a tremendous arm.
Well, Imran's quite content just to forward defence, and immediately the ball is right for hitting. It's 4 runs, and it really is a tremendous striker. Beautiful shot off the back foot there.
Well, the difference was probably only a foot or so as to where that ball pitched, and he's picked it out. Lovely shot off the back.
What a splendid morning's entertainment it was, despite the loss of the half an hour and the 8 overs because of that heavy overnight rain. 6 more runs were added to take it up to lunchtime, 264 for 4. Gavaskar 128 and Imran Khan 43. Dujon the man out to Marshall, who has been the outstanding bowler in this innings. A very fine performance from him once again. His 15 overs have been excellent. 3 wickets against his name, and that dismissal, the one of Geoffrey Dujon, was a classic of tactical bowling. 3 for 29. Marshall has. Had he bowled better than his none for 53 might suggest. Rice none for 39 was dealt with quite harshly by Gavaskar. Shastri has the other wicket, and he's turned the ball, as indeed has John Embury. We pick it up now from the 3rd ball after lunch. Malcolm Marshall has just taken the 2nd new ball from umpire David Shepherd, and Imran Khan is taking strike. That horrible moment when umpire Shepherd puts his coin back in his pocket, and it could actually be the raising of the finger.
Well, Marshall thought he'd got one here, but Imran.
There's 2 great shots this over, one from a slightly short delivery, and that one for Imran to bring up his half-century from an away swinger right in the slot. Gower is the fielder. And it's a long throw for a man with a bad arm. The 300 is up with that stroke, the last 50 from just 80 balls. It's the fastest 50 of the innings so far.
A change of bowling now at the pavilion end. Clive Rice taking over from Malcolm Marshall.
And just another immaculate little leg glance, just timed to perfection to take Sunil Gavaskar to 150. 151 he goes up to. And that is really his trademark, that shot. It's just immaculate. He misses so little around his legs and times it so well.
Well, he might not miss many around his legs, but he hasn't missed too many through there either, Ted. He couldn't play it much better than that. Beautiful cover drive. Well, that's a little bit wide and goodish length, and really he just leaned into that on the up. And John Embry now taking over at the pavilion end. Well, that's a big one, is that? Away into the stands.
Well, a big hit, footwork right, gave himself room, all the leverage in the world.
Ravi Shastri from the nursery end. I don't really think Mike Gatting fancied that too much. And that's the 350 up. Certainly a magnificent stroke. The last 50 coming off 69 balls. That's the fastest 50 of the innings. Oh, and a bit of reward there for Ravi Shastri. He's bowled pretty well this match, and Imran getting back, trying to drive it off the back foot. Probably did him on length a bit. He's a bit too full.
See it again, nicely tossed up, but Imran choosing to go on the back foot. Beats him really by length.
And at 353 for 5. And I suppose Kapil Dev's the man you would like to see walking down the steps. If he gets him for 10 minutes, he can certainly hit the ball as hard as anybody. That was a tremendous blow, straight over cover point, and one bounce into the crowd.
Kapil's got a few flourishes in his batting technique, and just look at this one. Marvellous inside-out hit.
Well, again, over deep mid-off, and Malcolm Marshall is well over halfway back, but no worries there for Kapil Dev. Beautiful stroke. Well, he's gone for a biggish one again, but just dropping short of Richard Adley at long off. Possibly Richard Adley didn't see that very quickly. It was just a little bit late in setting off to come in for it.
Yes, there was distinct impression that it was up there for a while Richard Hadley was just trying to locate it, and by the time he's got going, it's been coming down to earth.
Well, he's gone for the big one again this time. And a couple of men out. Malcolm Marshall coming in and taking the catch. Just getting a little bit underneath it. And that's John Embry's first wicket for a long time.
Well done, John Embry. He's been bowled all season through 4 test matches without getting a wicket. And at last, he's broken the famine. In the tests, he'd bowled 107 overs for 222 runs without a wicket. Now at last, he's tossed it up, and Kapil Dev's been deceived in the air, hit it high off the top edge, and Malcolm Marshall's taken the catch. He's a good 6-hitter, Kapil, if he gets there, but this one just deceived him in the flight, and nobody better to have out there than Malcolm Marshall, who's such a good mover, gets into perfect position.
Yes. Roger Harper. And a glorious shot there again. Granted just a little bit of width. And Gavaskar on the back foot through the covers 4 runs. Kept him coming down the wicket, kept on throwing the ball up to him, and the one occasion he doesn't get there, just lifted a little bit in a nice, comfortable cotton ball. A marvellous innings from the little man, though. If this is his last match, what better way to go out of the game?
A real old-fashioned cricket here, delight to watch. Gavaskar had been coming down the wicket, he still kept his head down, but Shastri had done him in the flight. And a comfortable caught and bowled. Beautiful bowling by Shastri and a wonderful innings by Sunil Gavaskar, and a great standing ovation for him on what is likely to be his last appearance at Lord's.
Yes, I think the little man was disappointed not getting 200. I think this afternoon he definitely set his heart on getting that 200.
Unfortunately, during the tea interval, the rain fairly belted down, and in the end, an hour and 3/4 of play was lost. Eventually, the umpires came out again. They made 2 or 3 inspections, finally decided to restart in what was really very, very poor light. John Embry is the bowler, the spinners were being used, and Roger Harper, the batsman.
Well, what happened then? Did he miss the wickets? Bails are off. This could well be bad light. Just dipping in. Oops, oops. He's back in time. Very poor light indeed. Well, I don't know who could see that. I don't think the fielder will ever see it. 6 runs. Really enjoyed that. And that's the last time I mentioned bad light. Tremendous blow, full swing of the bat. Oh, where's it gone? Can't see it. It's on the ground. Ah, 4 mid-wicket. Courtney Walsh. Never quite got to the pitch of it, it didn't matter. It turned a bit, that didn't matter either. It was always going to mid-wicket. So the 400 goes up. Obviously that Mike Gatting decided to bowl the slow bowlers. There's no way he could continue out there with the quicker bowlers going. Looks pretty good on your screens, but I can show you it's much darker here. And thunder rolling overhead and lightning as well, so... But certainly playing the slow bowlers quite well. Harper getting in the act this time, through covers for 4 runs. Going for the drive again, and thick outside edge down to 3rd man. Long chase there for Graham Gooch. And Harper's really going here. run 4 easily. Unfortunately, it's thundering and a bit of lightning and now a little bit of rain. Really just like it might be the end of play for the day. And I would think that's probably raining pretty heavy now. But all credit to the umpires and the players. They've made every effort today to keep play going, and I think the crowd really appreciate that. 421 for 7. The rest of the world still 34 behind.
Well, there was some entertainment provided there for the crowd, and the crowd appreciated it. 17 not out to Harper and 21 not out to Walsh. Some big hitting there against the 2-spin bowlers. There was nowhere in the world you could have used pace bowlers there. The light was so bad. That wasn't the really disquieting thing, though. I don't mind the spinners being on and the players staying out in bad light. I must confess I was desperately worried about the lightning that was flashing and the thunder that was swirling not far away. That didn't look too good to me, and it might just have turned out to be very dangerous indeed. Those 2 spinners, Embury and Shastri, 1 for 93 for Embury and 3 for 130 for Ravi Shastri. But the outstanding bowler, Malcolm Marshall, 20 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 53. He's right at the top of his form and his craft at the moment. The statistics of the match at day 421 for 7. The rest of the world were at the time, with Gavaskar making that memorable 108, with MCC just 34 runs ahead. 455 for 5 they'd made, and rest of the world 421 for 7. 2 declarations.